Welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Reverend Wolak. We're here each and every day. Why? Well, I do this because I have a mission, and my mission is to expand human awareness. And what I've come to understand is that the only way that we can expand human awareness is to ask questions. Deep questions, penetrating questions, questions that bring meaning to life instead of insignificant questions. And that is becoming more and more relevant in today's thing. Because as I'm out there, people are expressing their views, their opinions. And they'll say, this person is great, that person is great, this person is great. And then I simply ask the question, can you give me an example of why you feel that way? What has this person done? What have they accomplished? And in most cases, people can't name a single thing. And yet they formed an opinion that this person is good. I find that fascinating. And so my thought today was, be careful what you think. Because here's what happens. Your mind and what you think about yourself limits you. What you think about yourself, you literally put a limitation around you that prohibits you from anything more. Do you get that? So what you think about yourself puts you in a box. And you can't get out of the box unless you start thinking about yourself differently. And here's the other thing. What you think about someone else, you put them in a box. You don't leave any possibility that maybe they're different than that. And that comes around the whole idea of all the polarization that's happening on the planet right now. There's a polarization about what's going on in Afghanistan and what's not going on in Afghanistan. You got to ask questions about that. Here's the thing that I know about what happens in the world. It's never going to be perfect one way or the other. I'm for peace. I'm for a lack of aggression. I was never for going into the Afghanistan war. Never for that. Never for going into Iraq. Never for going into Vietnam. I didn't believe the narratives that we were talking about. And so for me, pulling out of Afghanistan is the right decision. Unfortunately, how we're going about it hasn't been exactly the most humane thing to do. This is what I come to understand, and I talk about this all the time. There's always both sides. To think that the world is not in balance, that there's not equal challenge as well as support, is probably the greatest illusion that we buy into. To think that we're always good and that we're never bad is an illusion. To think that we're always bad and never good is an illusion. To think that we're not smart or to think that we're dumb, it's an illusion. What you think about yourself will start to demonstrate in your life. And so I ask the question, what type of limiting thoughts are you having about yourself? What do you feel you're not worthy of? Is it a great relationship? Is it money? Is it health? Is it that you don't have the wisdom to make a decision for yourself? Here's what I know. And this is becoming clearer and clearer as we go through this COVID thing. With all the unique and new challenges that we're being faced with, I know I go seeking who's got more information, who's got more information, who can get. And finally, it all comes back to take what you've got and make your own darn decision. You don't have to rely on anyone else to make your decision. That's a habit that's been created since the day. Mom, would you tell me what's right here? Dad, can you tell me what's right here? Father Jim, would you tell me what's right here? Teacher, would you tell me what's right here? Boss, would you tell me what's right here? Do you see how we've been conditioned to not think for ourselves? We've been conditioned right out of our own wisdom, right out of our own truth. It's time to take it back. This morning, as I was meditating, this was sort of crazy. What do you think popped into my mind? The song, Just Another Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd. In the lyrics of the song, we don't need your education. What does that mean? They're talking about we don't need to be brainwashed. We can think for ourselves. And yet right now, almost all people on the planet are buying into this polarization, and they're siding on one side or the other. And they're not even realizing that both sides have valid arguments. Can we open up and see that? Can we say that? Both sides have valid points. And because it's not conclusive, we get to choose which point we want to go with. And we should, if we believe in love, we should accept and honor that everyone has the right to make that decision. Everyone has the right to decision. And that's really difficult when you're talking about being in the same family and people in the family are making different decisions than what you're making. But if you love them, you'll accept that they made a different decision for themselves. That's not easy. I have that in my own family. My family is making different decisions than I am. People that I love the most in the world. And you know what? They want me to make a different decision too. And I'm just going to tell you, I love them no matter what they do. And love means to accept. They made the decision based on the wisdom, the knowledge that they had. I've made a decision based on the wisdom and knowledge that I have. So when people ask me to defend my decisions, I stop. Because here's why. If I try to defend myself, what I'm saying is I don't believe. If I truly believe, I don't need another person's approval of what I've decided. Do you get that? We don't need anyone else's approval for how we live our life. I don't know when human beings are going to get that. But the biggest thing that holds us back is that we want other people's approvals. We command, we got to have it or we feel bad. No, we're not here to please anyone. Do you get that? We're here to live authentically and uniquely as only we can. And no one can tell us how to do that. Only we can tell ourselves how to do that. And we have to listen to the internal guidance that's within us in this moment. We listen to it and then we act it. But we don't have to step on anyone. Yesterday, I talked about being kind. Can you be kind to someone who has a different view than you do? I would hope so. That's respect. And here's the thing. If they keep pushing on you and pushing on you and pushing on you, just walk away. You can limit the amount of time you have with any human being on the planet. But I'm going to tell you a secret. The person you can't eliminate time with is yourself. You can hide behind food, drugs, alcohol, shopping, sex, porn, whatever you want. But the truth is, you're right there and you can't escape yourself. So why not just be authentic? Why not be the real you? Why not take responsibility and make your own decisions? It's quite a challenge, isn't it? I love great challenges. Isn't that why we're here? To have these challenges? And I know some of you that are listening right now, I know your stories. And those stories that you've got, those experiences you've got are there to get you to be your greatest self, to step in and make decisions that are right for you, no matter what the pressure is being applied. So with that, trust yourself and know that if you turn within, you will be guided every step by an infinite wisdom that is always with you. It's not outside of you, my friends. It's inside, and that's all that matters. So with that, go out there and create this day as the best day where you were your most authentic and real, magnificent self. And so, no matter what your opinion is, I accept you and love you just like you are. Until next time, everyone, aloha.